NBIA, Natural Bioscience Intelligence Agency. The science is real. The mission is yours.
Confirmed. MD Anderson Distribution Dock, Houston. Third SKU on the pallet. Same sourcing pool, same whey concentrate. The contamination is systemic, not batch-specific.
How wide?
2,800 access points across 27 states. Hospital gift shops, oncology cafeterias, rehab vending. The people buying this drink believe it is helping them recover.
Dioxin-like PCBs do not negotiate. They bind, they accumulate, and they operate in silence. The body does not signal the intrusion. It just stops defending itself, and the attending physician attributes that to the underlying condition. Biochemistry is indifferent to opinion.
What about the other products in the channel? Same category, same threat.
Every ready-to-drink protein beverage sourcing from commodity dairy concentrate without PCB-specific third-party testing carries the same exposure profile. The formulator chose this category because no one tests the concentrate fraction for lipophilic contaminants at point of distribution. None of them. One distribution contract controls the most vulnerable population in the system. The solution is also real and specific. You'll have it before this episode ends. 36 hours earlier, Geneva.
30 years of serum PCB monitoring data, publicly archived. 30 years of NHANES immunological function panels, publicly archived. The cross-reference between high PCB serum concentration and supplement consumption in immunocompromised subpopulations, nobody asked for it. Until now. The signal is there. Immune suppression in high supplement, high PCB individuals is measurably deeper than the general PCB exposure trend predicts. The variance has been attributed to disease severity. It was never attributed to what they were drinking. These individuals are not incidental targets. They are the preferred demographic. They are already immunologically compromised, which means their Aryl hydrocarbon receptor sensitivity is elevated relative to healthy controls. The same dose produces a greater effect. The formulator identified that vulnerability in 2019. The group purchasing agreement was signed in 2020. The preferred vendor status was in place 18 months later. What dioxin-like PCBs do quietly, over months, is dismantle mucosal immune tolerance, the layer of defense that separates gut epithelial tissue from systemic inflammation. Remove it slowly enough, and no clinician connects the deterioration to a protein drink. They connect it to the cancer, to the autoimmune condition, to the surgery. The body cooperates with the misdiagnosis. Joining the mobile briefing now. The longitudinal data is conclusive. This is not an environmental coincidence. This is calibrated targeting.
Threat confirmed. Mission active. Ghost summary from the archive.
30 years of data. Still, the immunocompromised subpopulation carrying the highest serum PCB burden is the same demographic the formulator is supplying through hospital and oncology channels. The immune disruption signal has been hiding inside the clinical diagnosis. He knew it would.
The compound class, dioxin-like polychlorinated biphenyls, specifically PCB126 and PCB169, banned globally in 1979 under TSCA, still present in conventionally raised dairy fat fractions because they persist in soil, enter feed, accumulate in adipose tissue, and concentrate in the fat-soluble fraction of processed dairy. Whey and casein concentrates trap them at higher per serving levels than fluid milk. The FDA's PCB tolerance framework for dairy was written for fluid milk, not concentrated protein fractions. That regulatory gap is the formulator's legal foundation.
Why don't the people processing the concentrate catch it in testing?
Because no regulatory requirement mandates PCB-specific testing of protein concentrate fractions at point of distribution. The formulator's legal team identified that gap in 2019. It is not an oversight in the supply chain, it is the architecture. Before I give you the mechanism, think of your immune system as a security team inside your gut. There's a supervisor, the Aryl hydrocarbon receptor, whose job is to read chemical signals in the environment and tell the team when to stand down and when to respond. What PCB126 and PCB169 do is walk in wearing the supervisor's ID badge. The security team reads the signal as authorized, stands down, and dismantles the protocols that were protecting the mucosal barrier. By the time anyone notices, the intruder has been running the shift for months. Here is the mechanism. Dioxin-like PCBs are potent agonists of the Aryl hydrocarbon receptor, a ligand-activated transcription factor present in immune cells, hepatocytes, and intestinal epithelial cells. AHR activation by DL-PCBs drives expression of CYP1A1 and CYP1B1 enzymes that metabolize PCBs into hydroxylated metabolites carrying estrogenic activity. Simultaneously, R activation suppresses the differentiation of Th17 and regulatory T-cell subsets, degrading mucosal immune tolerance at the gut epithelial interface. The immunocompromised individual's AHR baseline sensitivity is elevated due to systemic inflammation, making them measurably more reactive to DL-PCB immune disruption at equivalent exposure doses compared to healthy controls.
The diagnostic blind spot is precise. Immune function deterioration in this population is attributed to the underlying condition. Nobody checks the protein beverage. The symptom profile matches the disease. The contamination remains invisible.
Countermeasure.
Watercress, Nasturtium officinale. The active compound is phenethyl isothiocyanate PEITC, a glucosinolate breakdown product formed when gluconasturtiin contacts the enzyme myrosinase at the moment of cell disruption. Chewing, blending, that is the activation event. PEITC is the most potent dietary inhibitor of CYP1B1 identified in peer-reviewed literature.
I'm already in Hampshire. The chalk stream beds outside Aylesford. I'll confirm cultivation source and yield.
Authorization granted. Ghost probability of population scale immune damage at current distribution volume.
At 2,800 distribution points, serving an immunocompromised population with elevated AHR sensitivity, the cumulative mucosal immune disruption across the network is not speculative. It is already in progress. The longitudinal data projects measurable deterioration in mucosal barrier function within 8 to 12 weeks of consistent consumption at standard serving frequency.
14 hours later, Itchen Valley, Hampshire, England. Steel. PEITC yield differentiation. Chalk stream versus hydroponic cultivation. Requesting confirmation.
Chalk stream cultivation PEITC yield versus hydroponic. Peer-reviewed variance threshold.
University of Southampton phytochemical analysis. Hampshire chalk stream watercress. Gluconasturtiin concentration 340 micromoles per gram fresh weight. Hydroponic cultivation 187 micromoles per gram. Variance margin 82%. Mineral content and temperature regulation are differentiating variables. Cold, consistent, mineral-rich water produces measurably higher precursor concentration.
The retail watercress supplement capsule confirms status.
Inert. The capsule product uses dried, heat-processed watercress material. Heat inactivates myrosinase. No myrosinase means no enzymatic conversion. No conversion means no PEITC. The capsule delivers gluconasturtiin, the precursor, but the enzyme required to activate it has been destroyed. It cannot produce PEITC in the body without the enzyme present at the moment of consumption.
The countermeasure is the raw plant, not the supplement.
Confirmed. Freshly chopped, consumed raw, immediately after chopping. That is the only delivery mechanism that generates therapeutic PEIT.
Steel. Countermeasure confirmed in situ, source validated. Requesting authorization for the molecular climax.
You have it. Frost walk us through the pathway.
The moment the raw watercress is chewed, gluconasturtiin contacts myrosinase. PEITC is generated. Absorption through intestinal epithelial cells begins within 30 minutes, one of the most rapid absorption profiles of any dietary isothiocyanate. It enters portal circulation and reaches peak plasma concentration at 60 to 90 minutes post-consumption. PETC distributes rapidly to hepatic tissue, the primary site of PCB biotransformation. In hepatocytes, it enters the cytoplasm and binds directly to CYP1B1's active site. Competitive inhibition. The production of hydroxylated PCB metabolites, those with estrogenic activity, slows measurably within the first 90-minute metabolic window. Simultaneously, PEITC releases NRF2 from KEAP1 sequestration in both hepatic and intestinal epithelial cells. NRF2 translocates to the nucleus, activates the antioxidant response element, drives synthesis of GSTA1 and GSTP1 glutathione S-transferase isoforms with the highest affinity for PCB metabolite conjugation. Conjugated PCB metabolites become water-soluble. They exit through bile into fecal elimination routed out of systemic recirculation. And on a third parallel track, PEITC modulates AHR transcriptional activity without blocking AHR binding. It accelerates R nuclear export after ligand dissociation, reducing the duration of DLPCB-driven CYP1B1 gene expression without eliminating R's physiological immune function. It removes the hijacker, it leaves the receptor operational. Each day of consistent raw watercress consumption extends the fraction of PCB metabolites routed to excretion. The immune tolerance that DLPCBs had been quietly degrading begins to stabilize. The body's defenses were never absent. They were being interfered with by something in the recovery drink.
The formulator's distribution chain runs on regulatory silence. The compound persists because the test was never required. The population was never warned because the framework never anticipated the concentrated fraction. That ends here.
Encrypted signal detected. Routing now.
Phospholipid membrane disruption confirmed at 200 parts per million. The compound preferentially accumulates in high-turnover epithelial tissue. Onset of mucosal barrier compromise. 3 to 4 weeks at standard serving frequency. Expanding through the children's snack pouch category. The 2 to 6 demographic presents maximum epithelial turnover and minimum metabolic clearance capacity.
He is already 3 moves ahead. Lock the frequency. We begin the next operation at 0600.
The NHANES cross-reference is now logged. The immunosuppression signal in high supplement, high PCB subpopulations is on record as an isolated variable for the first time. That data doesn't disappear. Whatever the formulator moves to next, this analysis follows him.
Hampshire source confirmed. Chalk stream cultivation, highest PEITC precursor yield in documented phytochemical literature. The countermeasure exists. It is affordable, it is available, and it is a standard supermarket product. The only thing standing between it and the people who need it is the fact that nobody told them.
If the capsule doesn't work, what should people actually be doing?
I'll cover that in the stinger.
The formulator's next operation is targeting children, 2 to 6 demographic. Snack pouch category. The mucosal barrier mechanism will be the same. The population will be smaller, faster to damage, and harder to diagnose. Operation. Silent receptor is closed. Operation parameters for the next file. Authorized.
Everything you're about to hear has been published in peer-reviewed research. I'm going to give you the mechanism, the study, and the exact dose in plain language. Dioxin-like PCBs in protein beverages sourced from conventional dairy activate the Aryl hydrocarbon receptor, which then drives production of enzymes that convert PCBs into estrogenic metabolites, while simultaneously suppressing the immune cell differentiation that maintains your gut's mucosal barrier. Watercress contains a compound called phenethyl isothiocyanate PEITC, which is generated the moment you chew or blend raw watercress. PEITC does 3 things simultaneously. It directly blocks CYP1B1, the enzyme producing the estrogenic PCB metabolites. It activates NRF2, driven glutathione detoxification pathways that conjugate and excrete those metabolites. And it accelerates Aryl hydrocarbon receptor nuclear export, shortening the window of immune disruption without disabling the receptor's normal immune functions. Cassie and colleagues published in Carcinogenesis in 2003, Volume 24, Issue 9. PEITC from watercress significantly inhibited CYP1B1, mediated activation of carcinogenic compounds, and induced glutathione S-transferase-mediated phase 2 detoxification in human hepatic and colonic tissue. A supporting pharmacokinetic study by Getahoon and Chung, published in Cancer Epidemiology, Biomarkers and Prevention in 1999, Volume 8, confirmed that PEITC is rapidly absorbed and reaches therapeutic plasma levels within 60 minutes of raw watercress consumption in human subjects. 85 grams of freshly chopped raw watercress daily. That is approximately 1 standard supermarket bag, consumed raw. Consumed immediately after chopping because the enzyme that generates PEITC, myrosinase, is deactivated by heat, drying, and time. Any watercress product that has been cooked, dried, or encapsulated without myrosinase co-supplementation delivers the precursor compound, but not the active molecule. The industry does not tell you this because the supplement form is far more profitable than a bag of watercress. The enzyme and the substrate must meet at the moment of consumption. Raw, fresh, chopped. That is the countermeasure, NBIA, truth and transparency in human health.